Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the October regular meeting of the Hoboken Board of Education. Mr. Moffitt, will you
Yes, sir.
read the statement of compliance, please?
This meeting is being held in conformity to the Open Publics Meeting Act. Proper public notice of the meeting was published in local papers on October 4, 2018 and October 6, 2018. If any board member or member of the public in attendance believes that this meeting is in violation of the Open Publics Meeting Act, the Hoboken Board of Education requests that they make a statement at this time. The board wishes to make those in attendance aware that this meeting is being recorded on video and will be broadcast by the board at a later date on cable television channel 77 and Fios channel 46. The full meeting recording will also be made available on board docs, which can be accessed through the district's homepage. The Hoboken Board of Education is committed to preserving the decorum of the public process and is mindful that we live in an electronic age of computers, cell phones, and other electronic communication devices. Nevertheless, we respectfully request that all meeting participants kindly silence their electronic devices during the course of the meeting, and if use of the device is necessary, we ask that you please leave the meeting room if you need to conduct personal business. If we could please rise.
Thank you.
For the salute to the
We have a
flag.
volunteer tonight to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Tyler Smith, would you please step forward?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And the roll call, please.
Ms. Angley,
Here.
Ms. Delara,
Here.
Ms. Evans,
Here.
Ms. Kana,
Here.
Mr. Madigan,
Here.
Ms. Simmons,
Here.
Ms. Takirian,
Here.
and Mr. Clubfeld.
Here. First order of business, of course, is student recognitions. Ms. Rodriguez-Gomez, I just saw her a second ago. Well, there she is.
Well, so we have some principals that we'd invite to the podium. Grant, Principal Bartlett.
Congratulations to Magnus Paterka, the Joseph F. Brandt Student of the Month for September 2018. Magnus was nominated by his teacher, Miss Babylonia, because he is a role model for his peers. He was the first student of the week for his class and clearly exemplifies what a portrait of a student looks and acts like. He is always kind to his friends and makes sure he is on task and helping others. He completes his task with the most effort, making sure he puts his best foot forward always. Magnus is also a leader in the classroom and makes sure he is making the right choices. He always cooperates and gets right to work. Miss Babylonia said, Magnus has been an absolute pleasure to have in class. He brightens up my day with all of his amazing knowledge and shares about topics that run from interesting to silly. He loves to draw and started an art wall in my classroom showcasing his interest in animals. He is so awesome to have in class. He set goals for himself that I am super impressed with, including ensuring that he reads more nonfiction books this year since he has such a strong interest in animals. As principal, I see that Magnus is a great role model for his peers socially and academically. He certainly set the table for success this school year and got off to a great start thanks to his outstanding work ethic during the first month of school. Miss Babylonia went on to say that Magnus is an asset to Brandt because he exemplifies how children should be feeling and working while they are in school. He is always happy to think outside the box, always tries to make Brandt better, and helps in ways he can make his peers and classroom environment better. He shares his ideas with confidence, adding to Miss Babylonia's classroom culture immensely. In his spare time, Magnus likes to play Minecraft, look at animals, and build Lego animals at his grandma's house. His favorite song is the Pokemon theme song. His favorite subject is science because when he grows up, he aspires to be a zoologist. Magnus said, "I feel nice being Student of the Month because now it is for second grade. That makes me feel happy and excited because I was Student of the Month in first grade. For third grade, I want to be Student of the Month in September again next year." Congratulations once again to Mr. Magnus Paterka, the Joseph F. Brandt Student of the Month for September 2018.
And now, for Calabro's Student of the Month, I would invite Serenity Perez to come up to the podium. Calabro School would like to say congratulations to Serenity Perez. Mr. Zayas quotes, "Serenity has been at Calabro since the 5th grade. She likes to sing, she likes to draw, and do gymnastics. In the future, Serenity wants to become a gymnast or a chef. She enjoys spending time with her family and hanging out with her friends." Serenity quotes, "Accept what's happening in life right now. Put what has happened behind you. Let all of it go, and have faith that good things are coming your way." She is a remarkable student who is always striving to do better. She has had a fantastic beginning to the school year and has been an amazing role model for the Calabro school community. She is a hard worker and is never satisfied until she has mastered a concept. She is considerate, trustworthy, thoughtful, unselfish, and always willing to help anyone who needs it. If Serenity puts her mind to something, we all have no doubt that she will be successful at it. It is my honor to, on behalf of Dr. Vespignani and the Calabro school community, to say congratulations to you, Serenity. Your principal says, "Serenity has been a positive influence within our school community. She displays the pillars of character, kindness, and respect, both of which are celebrated at Calabro. Serenity is a great representative of our school and is very deserving of this recognition." Congratulations to you, Serenity, and this is for you. And now I would invite Dr. Pollins from the Connors School.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to welcome up to the podium Aaron Bishop. Aaron Bishop of second grade at T.G. Connors Elementary School was nominated by Mr. Caniglia for his commitment and dedication to displaying exceptional behavior throughout the school day, following all directions thoroughly and promptly, staying focused and working hard, participating actively in classroom discussions, and for being a model student to the rest of the class by displaying such outstanding behavior and eagerness to participate. Mr. Caniglia shared that Aaron is a leader and displays a positive attitude. Mr. Caniglia heard Ms. Lucignano call Aaron Mr. Future President, and Mr. Caniglia smiled because he believes that it could happen. When I think of Aaron, I think of the following Ralph Marston quote, "Excellence is not a skill, it is an attitude." Aaron continues to demonstrate his excellence through his attitude, and we are proud to have him as a student at Connors School. I love his unwavering ability to support two of my favorite teams, the Philadelphia Eagles and the 76ers. Thank you, Aaron, for your support in that. Aaron's hobbies include playing basketball, football, and Roblox. His favorite class in school is physical education. Aaron enjoys hip-hop music and watching football. In his future, Aaron plans to attend Villanova University. When asked about being Student of the Month, he responded, "I am happy that I am the Student of the Month. I hope that I can be the Student of the Month again during another month." Please help me congratulate Aaron Bishop.
At this time, I'd like to welcome to the stage, to the microphone, Principal Shannon from the Wallace School.
It is my pleasure to introduce Tyler Smith as September 2018 Student of the Month for Wallace Elementary School. Tyler is a second grade student in Mrs. Mazzone's class. He has been described as a model student. He is courteous, kind to his fellow classmates, and an inquisitive learner. He is very quick to assist other students that need help. When asked about Tyler, I responded, "I always appreciate the positive energy that he brings to our school." Mrs. Mazzone says, "To see a young boy like Tyler, who is so self-aware and open, and holds no judgment towards others, encourages me to know that the future of our world is in good hands with young people that are so mindful and compassionate." One of his greatest attributes is his insightful nature. This was recognized during his family tree project. Tyler shared his summer family tree project with his class, and he said, "The most interesting fact I learned in this project was that there are tons of teachers in my family." Tyler is a prime example of a model student who has enthusiasm for learning. He is a kind-hearted, sharing partner in his school community. He has many hobbies and interests. He enjoys art class and likes singing because it's fun to hear different sounds. He likes basketball and goes to basketball camp. He participates in Hoboken youth soccer and is on V's barbershop team. He likes to learn different languages and is now learning Spanish in school. His sister is in kindergarten and is learning Chinese. He is excited to have his sister teach Chinese to him and their nanny. Tyler wants to be a paleontologist when he grows up. He is excited about finding new things like dinosaurs and hopes to discover a new kind of dinosaur one day. When asked about school, Tyler was quoted in saying, "I really like school because you get to learn new things." Thank you, Tyler, for being such a positive member of the Wallace School community.
At this time, I'd welcome Principal Abraham from Hoboken Middle School.
Good evening. At this time, I'd like to call to the podium the Student of the Month for Hoboken Middle School, Alexa Bracero. Alexa was recommended by her teacher, Miss Lachlan, and Miss Lachlan had the following to say about her. Alexa consistently demonstrates acts of kindness, curiosity in the classroom, and passion towards her studies. Her classmates have gained great respect for her, as she is one who is always willing to lend a helping hand. She has been found on several occasions walking over to neighboring students to assist them on challenging concepts. Her classmates are comfortable in her presence due to her calm demeanor and positive energy. Alexa's hobbies include playing sports, marching band. Her favorite subjects are math, humanities, and physical education. Her sports and music interests are basketball and baseball. She enjoys Spanish music and pop music. Her college choice is Tennessee or Duke. Let's go with Duke. Future career, WNBA, athletic trainer, coach, and/or drummer in a band. I think she can do anything she puts her mind to. Margaret Mead once said, never believe that a few caring people can't change the world, for indeed, that's all whoever does. Alexa Bracero personifies this adage in her attitude and approach towards school each and every day. Alexa is a proud member of the Altruismo House at Hoboken Middle School. The word altruismo derives from the Italian origin and by definition refers to a place or a practice of selfless concern for the well-being of others. Alexa exemplifies every aspect of this concept regularly and demonstrates these qualities in her interactions with staff and students on a daily basis. Alexa willingly participated in a house system ceremony on the first day of school and proudly displayed her musical talent while generating excitement around this new implementation. Alexa also participated in the Read, Believe, Achieve art competition as she was chosen of one of 7 students to serve on a panel in an effort to hand paint a customized pair of Air Jordan Retro 1 sneakers for Eric LeGrand. Hoboken Middle School is so very proud of Alexa Bracero and her accomplishments. She exhibits the true essence of an HMS star, successful, talented, accountable, and respectful. Please, let's give her a round of applause. I'm very proud of you. Congratulations.
Last but certainly not least, I'd ask Principal Pica Pietro from Hoboken High School to come up with the final honoring of students for this evening.
Good evening. So Hoboken High School Student of the Month for September 2018 is Deja Serrano. So she was scheduled to come, but I imagine she's home studying and just got lost track of time. She was nominated by Miss Lorna Martinez and Mr. Munoz. Deja is a leader in front and outside the classroom. She has embraced the class of 2019 and the many projects they undertake. She recently took over the concession stand duties and she runs a tight ship. What Deja says goes in the concession stand goes. As an advisor, Mr. Munoz is elated to have such a strong leadership presence in the class of 2019 Student Council. As a principal, Deja is a very quiet but extremely motivated young lady. She has always been a strong academic who has placed herself in very demanding classes. Currently, as a senior, she is pushing herself in 2 AP classes after completing 3 AP classes last year. All of her work has given her a solid GPA, over 3.6. Deja was part of the Rutgers pre-med program and shared this was one of the most amazing experiences. She also likes theater and has been involved in the backstage crew. As a senior, she's very involved right now in the college application process, which can be a very extremely stressful time of the year. While still in the application process, she is looking for something in the biomedical science field, perhaps pre-med. Her post-secondary plans include applying to college to study biology and medicine. She is planning to apply to Keene, Ramapo, Fairleigh Dickinson, and William Patterson universities. When Deja was notified, she said she was surprised. She loves her schools and loves her teachers, but she wanted to give an extra special thank you to Mrs. Tank for having such a positive impact on her life. Ms. Rodriguez informed me that Deja is on her way here, so maybe when she comes in, we could give her the award, but she's an amazing choice, and we look forward to hear where she goes. Thank you.
Ms. Rodriguez?
She is So we're going to, while we're waiting for the young lady to walk on over, which she's doing, we're going to repeat the Calabro Student of the Month Serenity Perez. And so Serenity, can you come back here for me, please? Come. We're going to run it again, okay? All right. Mr. Zayas quotes, Serenity has been at Calabro since the 5th grade. She likes to sing, she likes to draw, and she likes to do gymnastics. I know you so much better now, Serenity. In the future, she wants to become a gymnast or a chef. Serenity enjoys spending time with her family and hanging out with her friends. She quotes, accept what's happening in life right now. Put what has happened behind you. Let it all go and have faith that good things are coming your way. Serenity is a remarkable student who is always striving to do better. She has had a fantastic beginning to the school year and has been an amazing role model for the Calabro school community. She is a hard worker and is never satisfied until she has mastered a concept. She is considerate, trustworthy, thoughtful, unselfish, and always willing to help anyone when needed. If she puts her mind to something, we all have no doubt that she will succeed at it. It is my honor, on behalf of Dr. Vespignani, to nominate Serenity Perez for District's Student of the Month. Your principal says, and I quote, Serenity has been a positive influence within our school community. She displays the pillars of character, of kindness and respect, both of which are celebrated at our school. She is a great representative of Calabro and is very deserving of this recognition. Again, for Serenity, please. So we'll pause when the student returns. Again, please join me in a final round for all of the students that were honored here today. And so that's the honoring of children for all of their amazing hard work in a very short amount of time. But we want to now pivot over to some honoring of two very exemplary staff members, some teachers. And to lead that charge, I'd invite Director Damien Arnone to the podium.
Thank you. I'd like to call to the podium Melissa Gerson, please. It is my distinct honor to present Melissa Gerson as the September Staff Member of the Month. Melissa currently serves as a 6th grade teacher at Thomas G. Connors Elementary School. She has been a teacher in the Hoboken Public School District since 2013. The Superintendent of Schools, Christine Johnson, nominated Ms. Gerson for this award because she felt compelled to share with the school community at large a description of the wonderful Ms. Gerson did this past summer. First and foremost, Ms. Gerson is a valuable member of the Connors teaching staff. Her students fondly refer to her as a caring, exciting, and consistent. Ms. Gerson prides herself on pushing her students to reach new heights each and every day. While Ms. Gerson is specialized in the area of mathematics, she finds great passion in teaching all the skills associated with English language arts. Ms. Gerson's colleagues and principal continuously take note of her unwavering commitment to the students at Connors. Ms. Gerson rarely misses an event. She is usually the first to volunteer for school activities and has dedicated many hours to the after-school Passport to Learning program. This past summer, Ms. Gerson's curriculum writing skills were put to work. Without question, Ms. Gerson signed up to develop virtually all of the curriculum for the district's new summer program, LEAP. She designed well over 30 curriculum documents that were both exciting for children to learn and staff members to teach. Ms. Gerson was thoughtful and innovative in her approach to developing these documents. She artfully wove activities and hands-on experiences across the learning objects. After completing all these curriculum documents, Ms. Gerson embraced a new challenge. She single-handedly embraced the new Junior Personal Growth Period program at Hoboken Middle School and wrote all of the curriculum for the multitude of 2- and 1-day courses. That's impressive. These courses span from coding to ballroom dance, Junior Model UN to Junior Harvard Model Congress, mathletes to science Olympiads, and so many more. In addition to all of the LEAP curriculum documents, Ms. Gerson also worked tirelessly to revise the 6th grade social studies curriculum so that it was aligned to the new goals associated with the middle school humanities program. When one picks up any of the curriculum documents written by Melissa Gerson, one can feel her spirit and passion. The administration is impressed by Ms. Gerson's commitment to teach and every project that she is a part of in this district, and the staff is grateful for her contributions to providing instructional guidance and curricular goals for so many courses offered in our district. This evening, we honor Melissa Gerson not only for her work in the classroom as a wildly talented teacher, but also for her solid dedication to the Hoboken Public School District. Thank you, Melissa. Congratulations. Okay, and I'd like to call to the stage Ms. Tatiana Meza. It is my distinct honor to present Tatiana Meza as September Staff Member of the Month. Born and raised in Paterson, New Jersey, by Colombian parents, Tatiana Meza is the first U.S.-born citizen in her family. At the early age of 5, she realized the importance of navigating in multiple languages and served as an interpreter for her family. It wouldn't be until later in her life that she would pursue second language acquisition studies and a career in education. Ms. Meza holds a liberal arts degree from Sarah Lawrence College and a combined certificate in translation and interpretation studies from Hunter College. Ms. Meza also holds a master's degree in urban education with a specialization in world languages from New Jersey City University. This year also, Ms. Meza completed coursework for combined ESL, bilingual, and bicultural certification from NJCU as well. This is Ms. Meza's 6th year as a teacher in Hoboken Public School District. Ms. Meza's first 5 years were as a world language teacher, and this year is her first as a district-wide ESL teacher. Over the years at Connors and Wallace Elementary School, Ms. Meza has touched not only the lives of her pupils, but also of her colleagues, particularly with the cultural aspect of her work. Ms. Meza has an outside-of-the-box approach towards the teaching of languages, and she has become known for some over-the-top murals and plays celebrating Latino culture. Connors principal Dr. Pollins has stated that Ms. Meza finds creative ways to engage students as they engage in the world language of Spanish. Ms. Meza is committed to lifelong learning and collaborating and sharing with other world language and ESL educators. She is a member of the New Jersey Teachers of English to Speakers of Other Languages. She is also a member and a second-year mentoring fellow of the Foreign Language Educators of New Jersey. Now I'd like to step back and I would like to read a letter sent from the Foreign Language Educators of New Jersey Director, which acknowledges the dedication and commitment that Ms. Meza possesses and her recent appointment as a board member. So this is a letter dated from September 20th from the Director of the Foreign Language Educators of New Jersey. This past summer, we welcomed Tatiana Meza as a mentor into the Foreign Language Educators of New Jersey Mentoring Fellowship, a program we have expanded to 3 years to ensure that early-stage world language teachers receive the support they need. As a mentor, Tatiana has again volunteered to share feedback and advice with a new language teacher over the span of a school year. We believe this type of partnership offers incomparable growth opportunities for both mentor and mentee. Tatiana's acceptance followed a detailed application process. In pairing participants, we look into consideration languages and levels taught, as well as the needs, strengths, and experiences individuals expressed in their applications. Wherever possible, we try to make matches based on geography. We should mention that Tatiana also took part in the program as a mentee in 2014-15 and recently was named Foreign Language of Educators of New Jersey board member. As part of this entry into this program, partner teachers agreed to work together towards professional SMART goals and attend 4 virtual meetings. They have chosen a complementary American Council on the Teaching of Foreign Language publication to support and guide their discussions. Mentoring pairs also commit to at least 4 face-to-face meetings during the year, including during the Foreign Language of Educators of New Jersey's annual conference, which they can attend at no cost. With all these benefits, we see the Foreign Language of Education New Jersey Mentoring Fellowship as a powerful way for mentors and mentees to reach new heights in their assignments and careers. Congratulations to Tatiana for embracing such a vital leadership role, as well as taking significant steps towards improving her own practice as a state world language educator. Congratulations, Ms. Meza.
Did Ms. Serrano arrive yet? No. As we've done in the past, I think we should take a quick little recess here to give some of the young kids a chance to take some pictures and then go home and do their homework and maybe have dinner. So 5 minutes. All right, I think we can resume. Thank you. I think we have one more student recognition now. Good, welcome.
So this is the Hoboken High School Student of the Month for September 2018, Deja Serrano. So I had it a little wrong. She was homesick today because she had an allergic reaction, and the whole family just rallied to get here because it was a rough night. But I'm so pleased she's here because she should hear the wonderful things about herself. So you were nominated by Miss Martinez and Mr. Munoz. They have to say that you are a leader in and out of the classroom. You have embraced the class of 2019 and the many projects they undertake. You took over the concession stand duties and run a tight ship. I guess they say what Deja says in the concession stand goes. As an advisor, Mr. Munoz and Ms. Martinez are elated to have a strong leadership presence on the class of 2019 council. For me as a principal, Deja is a quiet but extremely motivated young lady. She has always been a strong academic who has placed herself in very demanding classes. Currently, as a senior, she is pushing herself in 2 AP classes after completing 3 AP classes last year. All her work has given her a solid GPA of over 3.6. Deja was part of the Rutgers pre-med program and shared this was one of the most amazing experiences she ever had. She loves theater and has been involved in the backstage crew for the past few years. As a senior, Deja is in the process of college applications, which can be a very, very stressful time of the year. While still in the application process, she is looking for something in the biomedical field, perhaps pre-med. Her post-secondary plans include applying to college in both biology and/or medicine. She is planning on applying to Keene, Ramapo, Fairleigh Dickinson, and William Patterson universities. When notified about the award, she said she was surprised. She loves schools, she loves her teachers, but she really wanted to give a shout out to Ms. Tang for having such a positive impact on her over the course of her time at Hoboken High School. I present the September 2018 Student of the Month, Deja Serrano.
Well, thank you, Ms. Serrano and her family for dashing down here. It is the highlight, I think, of these board meetings, is to recognize student success. We turn now to superintendent's report and other committee reports. Dr. Johnson?
Good evening. This evening, I would like to congratulate all of our September Students of the Month, as well as our September staff members of the month. I'd like to begin also by congratulating our early childhood education department, as well as our elementary schools, our middle school, and our high school for such a focused and thoughtful opening of school. with smooth transitions, and also for the early foundational work of our PTOs to get the school year kicked off to on the right foot. At this time, I have a couple announcements from each of our schools that I think are also important to share with the board. First, last week we had a very inspirational program at Hoboken Middle School. I'd like to congratulate and thank Mr. Harold Abraham, for our principal at Hoboken Middle School, for arranging and putting into place the Read, Believe, and Achieve program at the middle school. The students read over 30,000 minutes of text, pieces of literature, some nonfiction in their free time during the month of September, not attached to or related to their homework. As a result, they participated in an inspirational assembly program and heard the story of Eric Grand in such a way that they had the opportunity to ask questions and interact with such an inspirational young man. So for Mr. Abraham, it was his first assembly program, and I think that he smiled from ear to ear the entire day and the weekend as well after the program. There's a few events at the high school that I would also like to announce to the Board of Education and to the public. First and foremost, the PSATs are being administered tomorrow at Hoboken High School to all 9th, 10th, and 11th grade students. So it's being administered at the high school to all students. While the 9th, 10th, and 11th graders are taking the PSATs, our 12th graders will be participating in a series of mini workshops that are related to the Common Application, also Naviance searches of a multitude of scholarship programs, and college essay writing workshops as well. There are a few other programs, too, that I think are worthy of mentioning this evening. The first is the Rutgers Pre-Medical Honors Program. We started our 4th cohort this year. We have 12 students that are attending this 8-week program. It's every Wednesday night. They leave Hoboken at approximately 3:45 in the afternoon, and they return back approximately 11 o'clock. So the students have already gone to their first course, and they will have 7 more weeks of a range of biomedical sciences workshops and interactions with the faculty and students from other school districts. I'd also like to report out that Hoboken High School students will have the opportunity to participate in an internship for a correspondent position with Hoboken Girl. Hoboken Girl is a local blog media-oriented group that highlights different events that are happening in Hoboken. We've connected with this particular group, and they are going to be pitching and interviewing and putting our students through a number of edit tests in order to select one student who will serve as an intern for their group to cover teen-related activities and events in town. I'd also like to report out that Hoboken High School is going to reignite a component of a program through the EMT group that it used to participate in. We are going to begin by hosting a 15-week mini module program that will actually be delivered by a number of volunteers on the EMT squad. These 15 modules will provide students with a junior level certification if they complete it during their PGP period, and allow them to actually assist and ride on calls. So the students seem very excited about it. We have a number of students who have already registered for it. We are also going to be hosting a two-part culinary workshop with a local chef by the name of Casey Rapetti at Hoboken High School. She will not only come in and do an entire career series with the students, but she's also going to be hosting a local chopped competition for our high school culinary arts students. In addition to that, I'd like to announce that on October 13th, there is a family engagement workshop that is being held in partnership with the Hoboken Public School District and also the Westside Women for parents and families and students of middle school grades as well as high school, and for those interested in more information about both the middle school and the high school. So information about that workshop will be posted on the website. On October 24th, Hoboken High School will be facilitating its showcase open house from 6 o'clock to 7:30, and everybody is welcome to attend to learn more about the programs and activities at the high school. Our boys soccer team is actually playing in round 2 of the counties this evening at North Bergen, so we wish them the best of luck in that game. And our girls soccer team received a bye in the county tournament, so they will be participating in the quarterfinals on Saturday at home. And lastly, but certainly not least, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Dave Stasiak and the Hoboken High School Rockin' Red Wings Marching Band. They participated in a competition on Saturday at West Orange High School, and the Rockin' Red Wings brought home the Class A first place trophy in that competition. So we're very proud of their work. And that's all I have for this evening, Mr. President.
Thank you. Mr. Moffett, do you have anything?
No report tonight.
Okay. Then we'll go to committee reports. Curriculum and wellness. Ms. DeLara.
Sure. The Curriculum and Wellness Committee met on October 4th. In attendance were Ms. Angley, Ms. Evans, Ms. Simons, Assistant Superintendent Rodriguez, and Superintendent Dr. Johnson, and myself. Dr. Johnson has touched on a couple of the topics that we discussed. A few other things we talked about was the new math curriculum rollout, which is investigations for grades K through 5th. We are also in process of rolling out Connected Math, which is for the bands of 6th through 8th grade. Ms. Rodriguez shared with us that our teachers are working cooperatively, and we have great feedback so far from the teachers about the new math curriculum. We also spoke about a homework committee, which is in the process of being formed. Homework is a topic of conversation, and the district is in process of forming a committee which will have stakeholders across all the schools, which will be invited to participate and discuss homeworks across all the grade bands. Ms. Rodriguez is also working on a survey that will be distributed to all families. We also talked about a calendar, a district-wide calendar for strategic approach to different monthly celebrations, different national holidays, events, contests, everything that goes on around the district and in our town. There's so much going on, and we just want to make sure that we capture everything in one place. So that is in the process of being formed. Dr. Justin touched on the Rutgers Pre-Med program. Congratulations to those students. And lastly, we talked about wellness. We talked about the October food menu. We took a look at that, and I can say that the majority of the committee was not impressed with the items on the October lunch menu. So we are having our food provider come in to our November meeting so we can talk about ways to introduce, again, because September was a better month, just better and healthier lunch and breakfast items across all the schools. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm covering the Facilities Committee report this evening. That committee met on October 4th at approximately 2:45. Dr. Johnson, Mr. Callaghy, Ms. Delara, Ms. Angley, and myself were attending. There's only 2 items on the agenda tonight that were vetted by the Facilities Committee, and both are recommended for adoption. We also then went on to talk about the middle school playground outside. Last week, there was a giant hole in the ground as the drainage system was being installed, and I'm told that that drainage system will be completed this week, and then what will follow is the resurfacing with the rubberized playground surface, and then on top of that will come the playground equipment. So it's a sequenced series of events, and the work is still scheduled to be completed by early November. Related to that is the middle school living classroom, the building right outside the Demers building here in that new playground area. The drainage system was integral to that classroom. Now that the drainage is complete, interior work will begin this week, and the target date for that is mid-December. And then finally, we discussed the Connors School boiler replacement. All the plumbing work is now done, and we are awaiting delivery of the new boiler itself, and work is on schedule and will be ready for the winter. We also talked about the possibility of a resolution that I'm going to talk about more in my president's report. That is a live item tonight, and I'll hold off on that. That concludes the facilities report, and Ms. Angley will have the finance.
The Finance Committee met on Thursday, October 4th at 7:30. In attendance were Dr. Johnson, Mr. Moffitt, Mr. Klupfel, Ms. Evans, Ms. Simons, and myself. Finance has a pretty light agenda this month. The committee reviewed all agenda items and recommend all for board approval. In addition to agenda items, the committee also discussed the use of the emergency reserve to cover recent state aid cuts. This proposal was submitted to the county and then further submitted to Trenton. Trenton required the district to submit some additional financials, which we did. And as of last week, the county BA or the district had not heard anything back. The committee also discussed the food service program. For Mr. Moffitt, the auditors will be working with the business office and Pomptonian to determine the accounting around the unpaid lunch balance for the year ended 2018. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Ms. Evans, the Governance and Personnel.
Okay. The Governance and Personnel Committee met on October 4th. In attendance were myself, Ms. Khanna, Mr. Klupfel, and Superintendent Johnson. The committee reviewed all agenda items and recommend all for approval tonight. Just a few items to point out. Item 9.11, assemblies and presentations. The Hoboken High School will again be hosting Hudson County Theater Day. Students will attend workshops led by professionals in the theater education field. Item 9.19 is approval of committees. These are actually committees that the district has had in the past, plus the new District Wellness Committee. These are all required by CUSAC, and CUSAC is now also requiring that we approve the committees along with the dates and times. And then just to move a little back on the agenda, you'll see on item 9.03 that Mr. Bill Moffitt is resigning as our business administrator. I'm sorry to say. Bill is moving on to a new opportunity and still has one more meeting with us. But I did want to thank Bill for all the work that he's done. He's set us on firm financial footing after through some rocky times, and he's always been a real pleasure to work with, and wish him the best.
Thank you.
I'm going to take advantage of my opportunity for President's Report to quickly notify the board of a couple of things. One is that we do have a board vacancy, and the process has begun. The vacancy in the process for applying for the position was posted, I think, starting last weekend. It's on our website and has appeared in our papers of record. The goal is to the November 9th deadline for applications. and looking forward to interviews and appointing at our next board meeting on November 13th. Secondly, we have in addition to our agenda, a resolution that was developed over the past several days that did not make it into the board docs agenda, but copies were available for the public out in front, and all board members have been part of the drafting of this resolution over the past several days. So we'll be voting on it tonight as part of the consent agenda. I only want to say that this is a resolution that was sort of developed in response to the revitalization agreement on the Hoboken building project here. That involves some significant givebacks from the developer to the city, and in particular note of interest to the Board of Education is as some money is given to the development of the new Hoboken Wellness Center, what we call the former Y building. There will be some classroom space earmarked for us, which is kind of important for us as we continue to grow our preschool program. So that's what we're looking for, that, and that would be available hopefully in a couple of years. And then secondly, there is a rather substantial donation to the endowment for the Hoboken Public Education Foundation, which we certainly endorse. So that will be before us, and I think all the board members are aware of it and are in support of it as well. Moving on then, do you have any questions or comments on committee reports? No? Then we will move to public comments on agenda items.
We have two speakers tonight. The first is Sherelle Pollock. Did I get that right?
It's my new habit now to remind everyone that as part of the public comments, please state your name, municipality of residence, and business affiliation, if any. And speakers are allowed 5 minutes, and I will quietly motion at the end of the 4-minute mark. Please address all comments to the board chair. Board policy states that the board welcomes comments on matters of interest to the board, but this is not an opportunity for dialogue or debate between speakers and the board members or the superintendent. Please proceed.
Okay, thank you. Hi, I'm Jackie Dowd Prince. This is Erica Gavin, Sherelle Pollock. We are the co-founders of the Hoboken Public Education Foundation at 1025 Maxwell Lane, apartment 714. Our foundation had a very big day today. We attended a press conference that was held by Ravi Bala, the mayor, and city council to review the hotel deal that you mentioned in Southeast Hoboken and the community givebacks that are proposed. And we are certainly a beneficiary of those. And we wanted to come up here tonight. Sherelle spoke at the press conference, and we want to make sure everyone heard our message, and she'd like to share a few details with you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone. We were able to address the community in a really large forum, and we were really excited that we had such a great turnout. As you know, we are a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization, and 100% of the money we raise directly supports the Hoboken Public Schools. As part of the resolution, the developer and the mayor has agreed upon or was set forth to the city council for a vote for a $1 million endowment for our organization. This is the first time that the Hoboken Public Schools has been a recipient of such a great community give back, and we are really excited for this opportunity. And we realize that while we fund innovative programs and initiatives and facilities upgrades and things to further enhance our great public schools, we also are able to fund some of the gaps that happen with district operating budget. And the timing for this endowment is great, given that there was a decrease this year in funding. So we were really excited that we were a part of this. Our services and enrichment provided by the public schools are really vital to all our families, because what really the traditional public schools do is provide an investment in educational equity and equity of opportunity. And we're really excited that we are on this resolution, because it speaks volumes to the community as a whole and to the great work that the public schools is doing. This really could not have been possible without a lot of the administration effort, as well as the developer, who is a real strong supporter of the public schools. And we would just like to say that we are very proud of our community, and we are very excited that this endowment will directly benefit the public schools and continue to elevate Hoboken in many ways. And so thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Lee Pizer.
Lee Pizer.
Hi, good evening. Lee Pizer, 3611 Park Avenue, Union City. I wanted to address the board as it relates to this resolution and to this new development that we're talking about. I applaud the Hoboken Education Foundation for the work that it does. I don't know a lot about it because I'm not directly involved in it, but I've met Sherelle in the past, and I know she works hard and her team works hard to raise funds, to redeploy them for things that the district needs, right? But it raised a question in my mind. When I got here, I saw that you were preparing a resolution tonight to support this effort, which I get and I understand, but this is a large amount of money. And my question is, are these projects that are outlined in this resolution earmarked to receive those funds? I know that it's going through the nonprofit, so I don't understand necessarily how it all is connected, so that there's the KMS developer, there's the city of Hoboken. They got together and they decided they were going to give a gift or an endowment amount of money of $1 million to the Hoboken Education Fund, and they in turn are going to give a piece of that. It's going to go towards, I guess, the Uptown Community Center, or the old YMCA, that will be converted to be used for some classrooms, things that you'll have access to. My question is, why aren't developer fund fees that are stored here in Hoboken's coffers in the City Hall used for building improvements that you need? Every time another building goes up in this community, this happens to be a hotel, and I'm not picking on them. This is really more a bigger question about access to the developer funds to build out and improve. You have a boiler you need, you have a high school that probably needs to be rebuilt, you have a lot of assets that are aging, okay? And where do those funds come from? Well, they come from taxpayers. If you go ahead and run a referendum to raise taxes, or, I guess my question is, there's been a lot of development here over the last 25, 30 years, maybe longer, but at the end of the day, why aren't this Board of Education receiving those funds directly to make the improvements that you need, and why is there a need to have a nonprofit in between? That's my question. Can you help me with an answer? You're the head of facilities tonight, you said. Or maybe Mr. Moffitt, you know. I mean,
I will address that, but we're not going to have a...
We're not going to have a back and forth. Okay,
Yeah,
so that's my question. Pilots, payment in lieu of taxes, usually they circumvent school systems. They end up in the City Hall's coffers, okay? When you need classroom space, when you need an additional teacher, how do you fund those things? Well, those things should be coming back from the city to help you. That's my point. Thank you.
That was the only two speakers, right?
Only the two speakers, yes.
Any comments on things? So I just didn't want to engage in a conversation during that 5 minutes. But my understanding is that the agreement that was reached with this KMS partners today was described as a historic agreement in terms of Hoboken, that the history of development has never included such community givebacks. We were not part of the negotiation. That was something that the city administration negotiated, and that it really didn't involve the districts. As I understand it, the developer had actually a personal passion for public education and brought that concept to the negotiation, so that when the administration said, well, you want this, what about this? And they ended up, I don't know, I wasn't part of the negotiations, but the Hoboken Public Education Foundation was suggested by him as a place to give a community give back. Why the school district is not a direct recipient in the past, I don't know. But I think what has happened here, what I heard today at the press conference, is that moving forward, making community givebacks a serious part of future development agreements is a priority for this administration. So this seems to me to feel like it was sort of an important beginning of solving future problems and needs that the district and the community has. The wellness center, it's a complicated deal. I'm looking for some nodding heads here because there's a hotel being built, and there's several $1 million involved. A couple of $1 million going to support the development of the Hoboken Community Center, and the plans for that include earmarking some space for the district's use. So that's separate, but that's between the developer and the Hoboken Community Center. In addition, there is the endowment donation to the Hoboken Public Education Foundation, which has a 3-year history of working closely with the district, with the superintendent in supporting our programs. And then there are several hundreds of thousands of other dollars, and had another $500,000 that goes to the Affordable Housing Coalition, is that the organization? And to charter schools as well. So it was a significant community give back. And so our resolution tonight is to say, not bad. We as a board support this because of the benefits in the short term. Well, nothing short term here, because the money only starts to happen when the project is completed. And then the development of the Hoboken Community Center won't happen immediately either. So those classroom spaces the classroom space is a couple of years in the future, and the endowment is a couple of years in the future, probably around 2020, it feels like. It's the best I can answer. Okay. We move on to the consent agenda. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
That was Mr. Kurian. A second?
Second.
Ms. Delara. Is there any discussion?
Call roll.
Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Consent resolution plus live item is Ms. Angley.
I'm going to abstain on item 6.01 and yes to everything else.
Ms. Delara.
I'm going to abstain on item 6.02, 9.19, and yes on everything else.
Ms. Evans.
I am going to abstain on 6.01 and yes on everything else.
Ms. Kana.
Yes.
Mr. Madigan.
I'm abstaining on 6.01 and 10.05. And are we voting on the live item separate, or is this it here?
This is part of it. Together.
This is part of it. Okay, I want to just make a comment on that. I think it's an amazing thing that's happening with this. Years and years ago, before ShopRite was built, I know what give back was, that I remember reading. At the end of the parking lot, you see a little bench or something. That was supposedly a city give back for whatever was built. So, I mean, and we've always, the education system in town has always been left out. I find this is an amazing thing, and this kind of money and planning with even the community center, I think it's such a great thing City Hall's doing and the mayor's doing, and that we're included in this, I think is great. So everything else, yes.
Ms. Simmons.
Abstain on 6.01 and 6.02, and yes on everything else.
Ms. Takirian.
Yes.
And Mr. Klupfel?
Mr. Moffett, I must abstain on 6.02 and then abstain on 10.04 and vote yes on the remainder.
All right. Looks like everything passes. I guess the only issue that I see is 6.01. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we do have 5 approvals. Okay.
Motion passes?
Well, it's actually a tie because we have only one vacant seat, so it's a 4-4. And the abstentions were the fact that the board members weren't present for the minutes.
Yeah, you don't need a majority of the full board for minutes to pass. So with a 4-0 vote with 4 abstentions, that motion carries, Mr. President.
6.01 and 6.02 are the minutes from summer meetings at which some board members were absent and others were absent at the other meeting. So, motion passes. Public comments on non-agenda items.
I have one speaker, Ms. Courtney Wicks.
All right, 3611 Park Avenue, Union City, New Jersey. All right, where does Hoboken Public School District stack up in a state that is the 6th most segregated school system in the country and the 4th most segregated among students with disabilities? The racial achievement gap in Hoboken is 3 times wider than the state average. Connors Elementary School is the Jim Crow school, and the middle and high school uses classroom segregation and racial tracking. The district has failed every stress test in equity, student progress, and college and career readiness, according to the New Jersey Department of Education and all third-party assessments. The district is cooking the books on high school graduation rates by abusing credit recovery and summer school to pass kids along from grade to grade without making up at least 2 years or more that were lost as a result of the district abandoning the middle school for 7 years. The district is disproportionately classifying and using discipline punitively against low-income Black and Latino students by labeling them behaviorally impaired to get additional monies from the state and federal government. Students with special needs can receive up to $60,000 in additional funding for services, but instead the district places many of these students on home instruction for months at a time, while the balance of the additional dollars allocated are redistributed to kids that aren't entitled to it. Dr. Johnson stated in budget presentations that she would use ESEA grant money intended to support needy students to fund after-school programs at Brant, which didn't have a single Black student in the incoming kindergarten, has a 75% plus white student population, and a low-income student population that is less than 5%. Over the last 2 years, Dr. Johnson lied to me about her support for a diversity inclusion committee at 2 NAACP meetings, several personal text messages, and in emails. This was evident in her lack of follow-through over a 2-year span, her lack of preparation in meetings, her decision to marginalize my daughter's experience, her half-baked effort at creating an equity report that didn't present an honest and thorough assessment of racial disparity data, and her insistence on blaming the victim by claiming on the public record that race and class are the reasons why Black and brown children are failing and not the district. She also blamed the state of New Jersey for not accommodating a hyper-segregated district by assigning different district factor groups. In addition, Dr. Johnson lied about racial tracking. She has yet to answer the questions about the effectiveness of the home instruction program or how the district mitigates racial bias in classifying low-income Black and brown students. Dr. Johnson did not follow through on her recommendations in the equity report. In fact, it is no longer available on the website. Dr. Johnson is simply sending a message to all Black and Latino families that she doesn't care about your child's future. Under Dr. Johnson, the high school dropped another 40 spots into the bottom 10% in performance statewide. The district failed again CUSAC for the 8th straight year in teacher instruction and programming, and an overwhelming majority of low-income Black and Latino students are still reading, writing, and doing math, are not reading, writing, and doing math on grade level, let alone prepared for college or career. The The board rewarded Dr. Johnson's atrocious record by giving her a 5-year extension after her first 2 years. The board continues to not be reflective of the entire student body. To this end, this board allowed members like John Madigan to make racist statements without accountability for referring to the Black community as the coloreds, a derogatory racist term that hasn't been used to describe the Black community since the Civil Rights era. You said nothing when the Teachers Union president, Gary Enrico, was allowed to use dog whistle racism to describe Black parents for demanding equity and high-quality education as same clowns, different time. You used a Black mother with an alleged open DIFUS case to mock Black representation on the board and use as a publicity stunt for your so-called commitment to diversity and inclusion. Under the pressure, this Black mother lost her children and has allegedly been in jail since midsummer trying to fight for her kids. This board is intentionally destroying a vast majority of Black and Latino children's lives by using them to get additional aid and grant money, discard them like trash, and then blame them for not persevering enough through systems of injustice. You're sadly mistaken if you think we are alone in wanting change and justice for the kids you refuse to represent.
Thank you. Any comments in response? No. There being no other business before the board, is there a motion to adjourn?
Wait 1 second, please.
John?
I find it highly disgusting to get up and to criticize and make lies about the superintendent up, and that it's not supposed to be that way. If you have facts about issues, everyone would love to see them. But to get up and say stuff about the superintendent, and just to say it because if someone doesn't like the superintendent and had a bad experience, and then just paints over and makes up lies, and then it's supposed to be okay for us not to say anything. I'm a big boy. I could take anything coming. I was born and raised here. I was here before Hoboken was fashionable. I was here during riots. I was here when it was tough. I was here when they were burnt out. So I don't have to stick up for myself. But I'll be damned if I'd sit here and take it when the superintendent is being called all these lies without facts, and it's a disgusting thing. That's the end of the statement.
No, the public comment is over. Thank you. Motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
No. Meeting adjourned.